I promised you a transformation and it took us a couple months, but it's finally here. The project that you have been waiting for, but mostly me in making this video for you, is finally here. And I cannot wait to show you what we have inside. The entire project, full walkthrough. But before that, as you can probably tell, I'm holding up a sign. We're actually officially pending. Took me a while also to bring this sign out. We were on the market for about 2 weeks. I'll explain the entire story, but for now, we actually went pending about a couple of days ago, but I finally got the time to put it up. So let's first order business, change this out, and make this thing officially pending, because that's what we have here. And in the meantime, I'll let you know that I'll be releasing a video, a full breakdown video, breaking down all the numbers, the real numbers, the actual costs, and the actual profit we're gonna make on this property. So we're most likely gonna be closing in about 10 days or so. We got in contract as of, let me see. We got in contract as of Saturday, technically Friday, but Saturday was official contract day, ratified contract. And once you have that in place, now we'll be able to close and get our official numbers, which is why I want to wait until we have those numbers in place to actually show you the real numbers, all the costs, and what we actually made as far as profit. Now, let me be very clear and honest with you for full transparency. This project did not go as planned and not even close to what I expected. And I'm actually grateful for that, because there was plenty, I guess that guy knows me or something. There was plenty of lessons. Now, I will just preface this and kind of as a foreshadowing for the numbers video that we definitely made profit on this one, but not in the way that we expected. So with that being said, let's dive right into the walkthrough. I'll show you first a full walkthrough, kind of explaining the story behind it, what we changed, what we didn't change, what's staying the same, and then how off we were as far as our budget, and how far off or close we were on our original kind of design vision for this property. Starting off with the exterior, of course. Let's just first admire this front entrance. It is freaking amazing. My favorite part, I did not expect. So this is one of the things that we did alter and change to our overall vision from the start. This whole thing, right? We visioned this these posts in the front, but I did not expect or plan to have these side railings or system on the side, because I just planned to leave the steps as they were, but we technically had to put them by code. So, and it ended up looking a lot better. It just gave the whole house some structure, some character, all seamless. This is something that I actually stayed myself, and it was such, honestly, I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed staying this part, as well as this front door that everybody and their mom on this block in this neighborhood comes across and literally is in love with this door. Every single time somebody comes in and walks their dog, or just a neighbor comes across the street and takes a look at it, I mean, they just fall in love with this door, as well as myself. Turned out absolutely amazing. So let's go right inside. Welcome to this freaking amazing property. Go ahead. And let me show you what we got going on. Nothing much changed as far as the vision here in this space, is living room. As you can tell, we definitely staged the property as we always do with all our listings. We want to make sure that the buyer, the new buyer, or anybody that comes through a showing, private showing, or even open house weekend, they feel the space. They feel like they can actually see themselves living in it, and how can they envision the space laid out, right? Fireplace, also a key focal point. We actually ended up replacing the mantle, something that I didn't think from the start, but it turned out absolutely gorgeous. I mean, brand new mantle that we placed, and I had one of my guys stained it as well, and I'm just in love with this. I believe it's called iron black or something like that. I'll make sure to make a whole list of all the materials that we did and used to make sure to give you guys that for free. Color wise, we used white dove in the interior, I believe in a satin finish, recessed lighting throughout, and then a flooring. I'll have to check the color on that, but it's like a beige, creamy wooden tone, so it looks it all flows really nicely. It's very seamless with the colors, very neutral tones, very warm tones, and it's just so inviting. You walk in and it's just beautiful inside, right? As you come inside, you might remember that we had some walls here and kind of a little walkway, very low ceiling height on some sections. Completely opened it up, so now we have, I don't know, like some 8-foot, 9-foot ceilings or something like that. We have our kind of informal, formal dining room here, and this beautiful, massive kitchen, which completely, I mean, it was a complete transformation, as you can probably remember from the first one. If you haven't watched it, definitely go check out that first video where I do a full walkthrough of what it was like before. We had a lot of changes here. If anything, this is the biggest change of the entire house. There was a lot of stuff going on here, but we completely took all that, ripped it all out, opened it up. I believe I had mentioned that we were planning on removing the fireplace to start with. We ended up keeping it, and it actually ended up working nicely. That just leaves room for a nice fridge here. We usually don't put fridges because that's usually, you know, a thing that the buyer kind of wants to have their own personal touch to. They might want the French door or the top and bottom shelf. Doesn't really matter, that's up to them. But I do leave appliances for them to use. Kitchen is where we definitely spent the most on. I believe it was somewhere around like 13,000. I'll make sure once again in that full breakdown video. Definitely subscribe if you want to check that one out. My favorite part about this entire kitchen is this backsplash. This backsplash, shout out to the woman behind this camera, my beautiful girlfriend. She picked out this one. I believe it's a marble tile, and this thing is expensive. It ended up being very expensive. I think we almost spent about $1,000 just on the backsplash itself, which I did not plan for, but it was a touch that I really wanted to put, and it was definitely worth it. Everybody commented about it. They loved it. It matches really well with the white with kind of a gold vein on the countertops, and it just flows really nicely. The golden handles, soft self-closing, beautiful stovetop and hood, and it just turned out beautiful. It's huge. We could have done a kitchen island, but I think it just would have messed with the overall flow. It would have been very like, you know, hiccup here. I like a space where you can move around. And ideally, if the new buyer wants to really put an island, they can. They have space for it. And or they can always put like one of those rolling cart ones. You know, it's like portable. You can move around at your own kind of liking. But overall, this is really the main highlight of his home. But in addition to that, another highlight of his home, which completely changed, I almost forgot, the big reveal, the final bathroom remodel is here. This place changed completely, entirely. You might remember that we had kind of a shower off to the side, some weird stuff going on over here, I believe the toilet, and then a vanity with some other shelving here. Took that all out, gutted it down to basically down to the studs, even down to the subfloor. We had to replace some old rotted pieces, and we did a brand new, complete brand new, with your tub, shower towel. Once again, shout out to the beautiful woman behind the camera. Picked out this kind of a mint looking, beautiful green sage tone. I'm not sure what the color is, but with the gold accents, it looks beautiful. It just flows really nicely with the whites as well. We were thinking about going with maybe a wooden vanity set to match kind of the warmth. Unfortunately, we were unable to find that in time for the bathroom model, but it still looks nice with a sleek finish. Once again, our goal is to make it clean, simple, yet modern, and that stands out to any new buyer or any potential person that wanted to look at this property. Everybody fell in love with it. I fell in love with it. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's just a complete night and day difference, huge transformation, and it looks absolutely incredible. Lastly, let's go check out the 2 bedrooms. Once again, this is a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. If you haven't looked at the other videos of ours, we have one bedroom here, slightly bigger than this one. This is kind of like the smaller bedroom. As I always say, nothing much in the bedrooms other than 4 walls. We definitely changed the recessed lighting, the flooring, brand new baseboards. One thing I want to mention, this home has it all from top to bottom. We didn't technically change the roof, but that roof was put on about 2 years ago. So they put it on before I bought it a couple months ago. And so that roof is basically brand new. But everything else, as far as electrical panel, all the plumbing, all the electrical wiring inside, to a lot of the walls being kind of retexturized and new paint, bathroom, kitchen, you name it, everything has been touched, as well as the exterior you'll see in a bit. It's a complete 90-day difference with all the upgrades that any home buyer would want in a home. They won't have to touch anything for the next, 50 plus years. Each bedroom has its own closet, nice big space there. And then moving on to the final bedroom here is this beautiful, I don't want to say master bedroom because it technically doesn't have a bathroom in place, but it is definitely bigger than the other one. So this will be, I guess, for the couple, the individual, maybe with their baby or newborn or something. Perfect starter home for any individual or couple, like I said. Brand new windows, I almost forgot that as well. New windows throughout this entire home, as well as the exterior on the siding. We also had to not replace, but rather refinish the wooden siding, which turned out freaking incredible. Our guys did an amazing job, not only prepping it for painting, because it feels like it's just one piece, one wooden piece throughout. I'll show you in a bit if we can head over to the exterior, outside, I'm sorry. Once again, I almost forgot this sliding door. Look at that, how it glides. Beautiful, look at that. 8-foot sliding door, brand new as well. And the exterior, once again, this thing has a humongous backyard, tons of opportunity, tons of potential to expand the house if you really wanted to add an ADU. That was actually my plan. If I would have kept this property, I would have definitely added, I think I said that from the start, I would have definitely added an ADU, rent out the main part and put an ADU, probably cash flow about $1,000. The problem with that is that it just didn't make sense financially. I would much rather cash out now, pull out my funds, and reinvest that back into the business. The goal right now, the strategy right now is to build the capital. Yes, every once in a while I'll come across an amazing deal where it just makes financial sense to keep it. But right now, the strategy is to definitely continue recycling that money, letting it grow, and then building up the cash flow to the point where I can then deploy that capital into building a large rental portfolio. So large backyard. As you can tell, the dream deck with kind of like that pergola vibe there. We made it happen. We built it out, this beautiful deck, and it turned out absolutely incredible. This is one of the things that I did not plan for as far as doing it this well. I had envisioned a deck, but not to this standard, and it turned out absolutely incredible. I cannot wait for that new buyer to be able to enjoy sitting out here, throwing on some parties, and with their family. I believe they have a young one, I think a newborn, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just perfect for that individual or couple that wants to move into that first starter home. The last thing I want to show you is the garage, which I believe I didn't show you that first time. Oh, last thing too, concrete. We ended up doing brand new concrete around the perimeter of the house, which once again I did not account for, which kind of pushed us over the edge of our overall budget. Once again, I think things like this amazing deck, all the concrete throughout, adds value, and people will notice. Is it going to hurt me a little bit on the financial side, meaning a higher cost? Yes, but certain upgrades you must do, especially in a tougher market like we're in right now, will stand out far more than just doing a regular, lipstick on a pig. You know, your paint, flooring, kitchen update, bathroom update, and then calling it a day. I like to go the extra step, the extra mile, the extra distance to do these kind of upgrades where they find some value in. Last thing too, before I forget, is this tankless water heater. If you remember from the beginning, it was actually inside the house, inside the kitchen, so you can smell that gas from, you know, if you're cooking, that water heater turns on and it's just bad, unsafe. Put it out here and it's also brand new. Also a big upgrade there. Last thing is this small one-car garage, but still we refinished it. It was down to the studs, but we ended up refinishing it. We also painted this garage floor just to give it that kind of modern look, and a brand new garage door, because this place was just, this is probably the worst looking spot out of all of it. It had mold, it had dry rot, it had all of it. It was just bad looking. So now, beautiful, well, I guess beautiful to a certain extent, but it's just clean, simple. They can fit their car if they wanted to. We also left the option, we actually ended up putting the wash and dryer hookups here. So we switched them out from the inside the house to outside. And we also left the option, if they want to in the future, add or convert this to a studio or something, they can take advantage of the plumbing that we left ready for them to go. That was also another plan. If I would have kept it, I would have made this or converted this into a mini studio, maybe a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, you know, something like that, and maybe blowing it past a little bit further out, because I had a space behind this wall into the backyard. I don't know, that would have been a perfect move. Tons of opportunity with this one, but it turned out, I mean, what can I say? Beautiful, gorgeous, stunning. And it's getting me hungry now. I smell you see my food? Mm-hmm. It smells beautiful. We're hungry. It's getting late into the evening, but this is the transformation. And I promised you kind of a quick backstory into what went down. I told you guys from the start, we were expecting about 2-month timeline as far as the actual project, right? We ended up taking about almost 3 months. If I remember correctly, I looked at our project tracker. It was exactly 81 days. So I think we bought it towards the end of May. And so count 81 days from there. We finished it and we put it on the market. Waited about a week, nothing. First open house weekend was amazing. A lot of buyer activity came through, and I was just so excited to get it sold. Then that week, we went into that week, and it was just dead, crickets. Like, I was like, what's going on? It's a beautiful property. A lot of it had to do with 2 things, I think. Now that these are the lessons that came about, right? One, I think definitely the market had, buyers were a little bit skeptical about purchasing around that time, just because interest rates are still kind of high for them in their eyes. And then just overall pricing right now is they're very price sensitive. So when we're pricing, I listed this property at $615, hoping to get, you know, over that, ideally closer to like the $640, $650 range. That was kind of what we were aiming for, because once again, our ARV, what we had said, was right around that range, but also taking into account what the appraiser had said that it was valued at, $710, which I knew from the start I was never going to get that. Maybe in a strong sales market, but not in this market. Another week went by, and once again, dead crickets. I was like, what is going on? Thursday of basically last week, I said, you know what? Let me do some price adjustment here. People are very price sensitive, so what if I brought down the price, give it that price reduction, and maybe get some more buyer activity? Buy it from $615 down to $599. Now we're in the fives. People are like, oh, excited. Boom. That was Thursday night. By Friday morning, I had 2 calls, 1 offer in my email, and then 3 more showings later that day. By Friday night, I was negotiating. By Saturday morning, we were in contract, which we're officially pending. So it's now Wednesday, September 10th. Did we go over our timeline? Absolutely. But it was the offer that we received. Great offer, strong offer, closing in 15 days. Now it's about 10 days out. So we'll be closing at an amazing price. I won't say yet. Wait for that video. I'll make sure to plug it up or down or somewhere in link below. I'll give you a full breakdown. That's going to be an incredible video. Definitely stay tuned for that, because I want to show you the full transparency, the real numbers, not just any fluff, what I'm actually going to net as far as profit after everyone gets paid out, and then also the real cost, everything else associated with it, the hard money cost, my private money cost, my down payment, closing costs, both on the purchase and the sale of the property. If you enjoyed this walkthrough, definitely subscribe for more projects to come, because we have 2 more projects in the works one is being done fairly soon. That one's also an incredible project, bigger than this one. We went all out, and that one actually has a story. We're actually getting ready to sell it to a neighbor down the street. If you want to see that video, stay tuned. Until next time, peace.